The overall big picture stuff. Difficulty in prioritizing. Thank you very much. Security elements is really critical. When we look at, hey, is patching the most important thing to us? It actually may not be, especially inside a very fixed architecture. I'm not saying you shouldn't patch, but I'm saying you can consider whether that is your number one priority, and putting it in the proper list in the proper place allows us to do what's most important, what reduces the risk the greatest first. That's really what we're trying to say here. So as you go through this, network system upgrades, software upgrades, cloud migration, well, we might want to migrate things to the cloud like email, et cetera, sooner rather than later, because then it's somebody else's headache. We're actually not eliminating the risk, we're just moving it. But moving it into somebody else's who has $300 million a year to spend focusing on that security risk doesn't mean it's necessarily completely safe, but certainly safer than if we build it ourselves and patch it once a year. Those kind of concerns.
And one side thing for those of you who are already clients, if you choose to migrate, to move something, to move to a new system, let us know first, because we want to redouble our oversight, because it's when you're doing something new that is the most likely time to have a vulnerability you weren't aware of.
Right, because we're doing something, we're changing something, and during that change is when we open things up inadvertently, right? This is not, unfortunately, it's like 70% effective. The bad guys can get in because we changed something in a way that we didn't understand, or by its very nature opened us up to new things that we didn't understand, right? So really, it's a question of that. And the same with migrations, IT resources, as we look at, hey, do we have enough people? And are we asking questions in the public forum when we shouldn't be, right? So that's really important. We've seen incidents that occurred because they posted a job on Monster. What? Yeah, they were looking for a cyber director and happened to cause, and they probably should have been a VP at least, I'm just saying, because what happened was the Colonial Pipeline hack occurred because the bad guys were made aware that they didn't have anybody in charge of cyber and they were only looking for a director. What did that mean? Well, it just meant that they could go and try and attack, and then they used brute force to hack the password and got into the network, and everybody knows the story from there. It was devastating. And then understanding separation of duties, absolutely important.